Hello, it's double drag race day. We are in for a treat. This week it's not one but two because we got none last week, so I know we're all been missing it terribly. And I am joined today by one of our two queens eliminated in episode three. That we were dying to know what was going to find out, what was going to happen. And we finally did, and we were devastated to see that we are being joined by the delightful Ivory Glaze.
Hello, how are we?
I'm good, but not as good as that outfit. That is popping.
Yes, this is my COVID safe, stay away from me outfit.
No one going to get near you wearing that.
hmm
Jesus. So dramatic. Speaking of which, you dramatic? Never?
Me? Uh, since
Who would have thunk? What a way to make an exit. First queen to ever have to exit over two episodes. Jeez, what was I suppose what was going through your head in amongst all of that? Lights flash and medics and everything, you on the floor.
well, the first thing that went through my mind was, do I get paid for another episode now? Just kidding, just kidding. It was a lot going on. It was definitely, a very intense experience. And like, to be honest, fainting is quite embarrassing, especially fainting in front of RuPaul. But you know, you got to keep going. That's life. You got to pick yourself up and go with the rest.
Absolutely. And was that all to it? Like you didn't sort of, get back to the hotel room, you weren't feeling sick or anything after. It was just that moment, the pressure, the lights, and then you were fine until the morning.
Yeah, so it was a kind of a combination of like, I have really bad insomnia, so I only slept for a couple of hours. I was on like 5 Red Bulls a day because I was just trying to like keep myself alive for the show. And I was like too stressed to eat properly. So all of that combined with being in the bottom two again after I thought that maybe I'd done enough to get out of it. And it was just a lot. And the lights and the standing and yeah, it kind of all came rushing at once.
Absolutely. I can imagine that's pressure cookers is in a normal situation. Now, speaking of insomnia, a comment by Rue I thought was funny when you come back the next morning for the lip sync, and Rue's like, "We're all rested and we're good to go this morning, ready for our lip sync." And I'm thinking, surely these bitches have been up lip syncing all night. Did either of you get any sleep, knowing you now had an extra couple of hours to rehearse?
Look, I can't talk for Rita, but yeah, I didn't have much sleep at all. No sleep. Bus, club, another bus, no sleep.
I mean, it certainly showed that you're being rehearsing because it was like two lip syncs in one episode where I thought, fuck,
hmm
both of these girls are turning it out. I really think that you left everything behind when you knocked that out. Is that how you felt when you walked off?
Yeah, I really did. I mean, obviously I didn't win the lip sync, but I also, in my mind, I was like, you know what? Actually, I gave it all I could. I had fun with the lip sync, and I may not be like a standard performer that you would normally see at a club, and I like to do things a little differently my way. But I gave it a really good shot, and I think that at least I can leave with my head held high, and that like I gave it my all, I suppose.
Absolutely. Remind me, how long have you been doing drag again?
I've been doing drag actually for 4 years, almost 5 years now.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Because yeah,
quite a
there was.
while.
I mean, it's conversely like sometimes it's quite a while, but also in some respects, like you look at Bumper, that almost makes you an infant compared to how long Bumper's been doing it
Bumper's been
for.
doing drag longer than I've been born, and that's not even like an exaggeration. Like that's how long he's been doing drag.
Um, and that kind of brings me to my point with how long you've been doing drag and where you put that into it. So there was mentioned on stage or in the episode that obviously you
Mm.
used to work your full-time job while you was doing
hmm
drag, where you were at the time. Are you still in your
hmm
full-time job?
No, I actually I finished up 1 week before airing date, so I worked up until 1 week before the show came out, and yeah, now I'm just cross dressing full time, and it's been fun.
Was the show the tipping point? You thought, right, I'm going to be able to do it now that I've got the show to I suppose help launch me into it full time.
Well, that's it, right? So even though I was working full time, I still did do gigs every weekend, basically.
Of
So I was
course.
working and doing both, but it's very hard to sustain like a life in Sydney, particularly just on like some gigs without having a platform. So this was my opportunity when I got the call, that I was like, oh my God, like I can finally go and pursue what I want to do. And it's helpful to be on the show because at least, you know, people will at least know who I am, and I'll hopefully be able to get some gigs out of it.
Fingers crossed. Which now this all brings me to another point, which I'm sure you know who I'm going to talk about. Art Simone loves to have opinions. She's got a lot of them, and they're pretty good
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. So she was
Mm-hmm.
having a chat, and she caused a lot of conversation because she called out when we were talking about you still having a full-time job, and she said comments to the effect of that, you know, drag should be your passion. It should consume everything you do. And people kind of felt like she was attacking you. Have you spoken to her yet about it? And do you feel like she was attacking you, or do you understand what it was she was saying?
I have spoken to her about it actually. And it kind of honestly, like, to be honest, I've met Art Simone once in my life, so she doesn't really know me. She doesn't know my story. And I will say, like, the way that the show had portrayed it made it look like I was quite blasé about doing drag and like not that passionate. And so I can understand how she came to that conclusion. But I think she, like, after our chats and stuff, she kind of actually understood. And she claims it was out of context, but I think the context was pretty there. Um, but I don't take any offense to it. I mean, like, she can say that, but I know that I was literally working like a really demanding 9 to 5 and beyond. Like, I used to work really late hours as well. But I was still styling wigs. I was still stoning my costumes and making things and doing gigs every week. So I mean, if anything, I feel like that proves my point about being passionate about drag than anything else, really, because I'm literally still willing to do it after working like crazy hours every week.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, you come down to it, it says how the show portrayed you and how you came off. Easy for people to make opinions. But, you know,
Of course, yeah. That's TV. That's what you sign up for.
all right. But at least you have you kissed and made up? Do you think you're going to be good friends down the track? Or take a little bit more time?
Oh, yes. So I don't know if you've seen the second episode of Kick-Ons, but I sent her a little video of me shit and drag, and I was just on the toilet and I pooped out some rhinestones and sent it to her. She put it in. So we're
Okay.
fine.
I haven't seen that yet. I'm going to have to go and tune to catch that one. But I love it. I love that the show generates this conversation, and I love that we've got people out there like Art that are willing to speak their mind, and people can have these conversations and get out there, which is great. Now,
Mm-hmm.
you were on the show for a stunning 3 episodes. Let's count that 3, not
2.25.
2. Yeah, we'd still.
2.25. And then that rounds up to 2.5, which becomes 3, which is basically half the season. And then I made it to the finale. You just keep rounding.
I love your math. That's my math.
Yeah.
That's great. I love it. So we got to see, you know, you for half of the season, almost all of it. But what more were you waiting to pull out of your handbag to show us that we didn't quite get to see from you yet?
Definitely. So actually, the one thing that I was really wanting to show was my like comedic and acting skills, because that's actually something that I'm confident and good at. And like a lot of people think like, you know, quote unquote look queen is not particularly a personality funny girl, but I'm actually, well, here I am tooting my own horn, and now one day it's gonna happen and everyone's gonna be like, yeah, fucking flop. But I'm pretty funny. I'm a pretty funny bitch. And I was annoyed that I couldn't do the comedy challenge by like 2 hours in my day. Like I was literally like packing up, watching them doing the challenge. I was like, this should have been me. But it is what it is.
So you reckon you would have slayed that if you were there?
Yes, that and the snatch game, I was ready.
Oh, Snatch Game, tell me, please. Who were we going to get from you in Snatch Game? I love Snatch Game.
Well, I actually had an interview with Ivana earlier, and I found out that we have the same answer. It is I can't really say because I'm trying to get on All Stars and I want to keep the good one because it's a really good person. But I will treat you to this. I found out on set that I do a really good Reese Nicholson impersonation. So if I had to change for whatever reason, I was ready. I was ready to underline my lips. I was going to dye my hair red and just go and be like, "Hi, I'm Reese, and I'm so excited to be on the Snatch Game. Oh my goodness."
That was good. That was good. All
Yeah,
right.
right? I could do it.
All right. If you whatever your first option is, throw that one out. I want to see Reese. All right. I love that you're both keeping this under wraps. I'm like,
Oh yeah, well you never know. I don't want to think about another fucking option for Snatch Game. It's so hard already. I'm sticking with what I know.
true, true. And if you're gonna kill it, kill it. Love it.
Mm.
So what else? What else have you got coming up? Now you're a full-time drag queen. You're ready to take on the world. Where can we see you? What are you doing? Are you touring? You're writing a book? What's happening?
Well, I'm not writing a book because I can't write and or read. But I am about to go down to Melbourne for Drag Expo this weekend, which is going to be lots of fun. I get to meet everyone and take photos and do performances. And at least for the next 8 weeks, I've booked myself up quite a bit with all the episodes going on. I'm going to different cities for viewing parties and hosting different events. I'm also about to start getting into my wig styling business, so that's going to be very exciting. But the thing that I really want to work on, which I've been thinking a lot of, is I really do want to do a stand-up comedy set. So I'm probably going to, once things have died down a little bit, once the show has finished up and I'll have a bit of time on my hands, I suppose, I would like to really start working towards getting that organized. That's something I really want to do. And be in a magazine again. It's been great.
Beautiful. I can't wait to see your stand-up comedy. I love it when everybody gets all these projects and you do so many different things. I think Drag Race just spurs people to really push the box and get out and find
Of
all hundreds
course.
of ways you can make money. So I think it's great.
Oh, I have one more thing to tell you. I haven't told anyone else this yet because I just remembered it. So I really want to be on the cheap seats. Have you heard of the cheap seats?
I love the cheap seats. I
Yeah,
think that is one of the best shows.
I want to be on the cheap seats so badly that I tweeted at them being like, "Hi, cheap seats. I would love to be on your show, blah, 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 blah." And then you know what I get? I get a bot reply saying, "Yeah, sure, you can apply to be in our audience." And I just killed my, I was like, "This is it. This is how I die. Is there a low-hanging wire in the house somewhere I can just
Just rock up in this outfit, like apply to be in the audience, rock up like that. They're gonna say,
I'm
"Get
gonna
get
have
over
some
here."
signs that are like, "Hello, book me" or something. I don't know. I'll go and I'll be annoying and steal some camera time. I'm pretty good at that apparently.
Love it. Yeah, just get in there. Fate in the audience. You'll be right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll start the national campaign to get Ivory Glaze on the
Ivory Glaze on the
seats.
cheap seats.
Yes, make it happen. Well, in order to make that happen, make sure you follow Ivory Glaze on all of the socials below. We'll find you, and then we will spam the cheap seats and let them
Spam
know.
the cheap seats. And I'll even do a sports section. I'll do it. I don't mind.
Whichever, whatever.
Whatever.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, Ivory. It has been an absolute pleasure. I'm so sad to have seen you go from the show, but who knows what lies ahead? And apparently, like everybody else, you're going to be on Snatch Game, on All Stars. So, yay for that!
Apparently, like everybody else. Wow. Okay. What a way to end the interview. Thank you so much.
No, we can't wait to
Yeah.
see. I'm sure there will be much more from you. It's so many international iterations of Drag Race, of All Stars. We've got All Stars International. We've got Someone versus the World. Maybe we've got Australia versus the World. We'll see you there. Don't you worry.
We'll see, won't we?
All right. Thank you very much. My name is Michael James. Until next time with next week's Eliminated Queen, I will see you then. Thank you very much, Ivory. Have a lovely day.
Thank you very much. Bye.